Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Dirt with D. We are live from the Bottle House tonight. Decided to do this again because last time I did it, well, let's just say it didn't go as well as I was expecting or hoping to. So this time we're going to go live. I've upgraded some equipment. We got a special guest, actually a young lady. She's sitting over here in front of me, not too far away. So we're going to call her up here in a minute. Want to go over a few things. We got a jam-packed weekend at the Bottle House this weekend. Tomorrow night, we got Mr. Gary Shutt and his one-man extravaganza. We all know Gary. If you don't know Gary, Gary is probably the most prolific guitar player in the area. The guy is amazing. You know, from Supply Chain, Live Without a Net, and many other bands that he's in. Definitely come check him out. He's going to come on stage at 9 o'clock. And Everett solo, he will blow you away. Then Friday night, we got a little blues night coming on. We have, sorry. Hang on, I got something coming through here real quick. Just want to check stuff here. I apologize. Just to make sure this isn't somebody running late. Yep, we're good to go. So again, back to Friday night, we have the Jukebox Johnny's. We got Blues Night at the Bottle House Bar again. Come on in. It's a nice, chill night. Come back, catch out, check some good blues. And then Saturday night, we have the premiere of Remnant's Altar. Now, from what I understand, I honestly have not seen them yet. I've seen the videos, but I've talked to tons of people that just say these guys are amazing. In fact, they were telling me, Dwayne, you got to book them. They're freaking phenomenal. So everybody I've heard some has had nothing but positive information about them. So that being said, so I said it's a special Memorial Day kind of show. Most of you don't know, I have a very, very soft spot for veterans. I basically grew up in the military. My father, long story, it would actually be a 2-hour show to go through what my father was and what he did. He was served in Vietnam. He actually shipped out when I was 2 months old in 1966. Unfortunately, well, so in that time, he was 5th Special Forces. And then he kind of volunteered for a unit called MACV-SOG. MACV-SOG is a clandestine organization. Nobody knows what the hell they are. In fact, it was very clandestine for about 20 years. The information is finally coming out now. But they were black ops. They pulled from multiple branches of the service. They pulled from Army Special Forces, Rangers, Marine Recon, CIA, and they had South Vietnamese Special Forces. So anyway, he was volunteered for SOG. He didn't know what the hell it was. It was supposed to be 5 missions, and you get your choice of any assignment. Well, he did his 5th mission, and they decided to make it 7th missions. His 7th mission was in July of 1967. Unfortunately, he was captured. He was captured by the VC, which started a 5-year and 8-month journey for my dad. And again, we won't go into too much of that detail right now. If you guys are interested, I can go into a whole show about everything that he dealt with and what he went through. But he came back in 1973, passed away in 2013, and my family has always had a very, very soft spot for veterans, especially KIA. And again, Memorial Day this Monday. If you think it's all about hot dogs and having a cookout with your friends, well, you know, it's not about that. Just all I ask is, while you're celebrating, having a good time, turning back a beer, doing your cookout, think of all the guys that lost their lives there serving their country. Anyway, with that being said, I see her over here. She's bouncing around. Should we call her up? What do you think? Hey, lady. Steph, come on up. All right. So, you can pick any one of 3. You can pick any one of 3, any one you want.
Pick any one of the 3?
Yep. Why? You can sit right there. You can sit anywhere you want. You all recognize her. I mean, she's very recognizable. Let's zoom in on you there real quick till they get up here. So we have Stephanie from Reality Bites. And guess what? And a week from this Saturday, Reality Bites makes their premiere at the Bottle House. Can you hear? Can you hear? It's not huge. You got a small head.
I do.
I say that's crank it up. You good there?
I am.
Okay, you have to get just a little bit closer, I think. Oh.
Is that better?
Yep, that's a condenser mic, so it's hot.
Yes.
So You get the condensers, and I get. I figured I'd give you all condensers because they are kind of hot. Just to.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
So everybody say hi and welcome to Miss Stephanie. She's got her drummer out here. We're going to get him up here in just a minute. We're going to pop in some comments here too. Get that up and ready to go. So as I said, a week from Saturday, and I apologize. Obviously, we're at the Bottle House, and they do have the jukebox running. I think they'd shoot me if I told them I'll turn it off.
I know.
course,
Well, Nate was just like, "How does he hear with that?" And I was like, "I have no idea how to set up."
Then again, I can control that, can't I?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Maybe I should just go turn it off. You know, we got to take care of the people that are here. So we'll suffer. Can you hear okay? You hear everything
Yes,
okay?
I can
Okay.
hear.
As long as you guys can hear.
Be able to read, but yeah, I can hear.
Well, you don't have to read.
Okay.
I'll tell you everything.
Okay.
If anything pops up, I want to blow it up.
Perfect.
So if we do this like remote, then you're in front of your computer or your phone, you can see everything. We're doing this live.
Yes.
See,
I
see, problem with my mic,
That's
every time
how
I
I
turn
roll.
away, you got the hot mics. I got to stay fairly close to mine. So again, a week from Saturday night, we have the premiere of Reality Bites.
know. Yes.
What do you think? You ready?
Yeah, I'm absolutely
Ready to rock and roll?
We're very excited. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you spent a little time on stage here not too long ago. I gotta crank this up here so we get the bottle house on there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. I
got
did when Rivals and Villains was
When Rivals and
here.
Villains
Yeah.
were here.
Mark's a good friend of mine, and yeah, and asked me up on stage to sing, and it was funny because my band's like, "You don't do that with us," and I was like, "Well, I kind of stuck behind a keyboard, so I don't have."
Well, you
room
can come
to
out
move
from
around."
that keyboard every now and then.
I tried to. It depends on the stage.
Yeah, well, we got a big stage.
Yeah, you do. You do.
We got enough
Yeah.
room for you.
Yes.
So you can slide out. Are you running
Slide out,
cordless?
get
You can
on
go
the
out
dance
and
floor.
you can come out and say hi to me.
Yep.
Nobody ever talks to me when I'm here. Feel free. You can be the first. I'm kind of back there all by myself.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
We all miss Bubba too.
I know. One day we're going to have him back in here. Don't worry. Make sure. Trying to get all the mics and everything balanced out. In fact, if you guys are listening from home, help me out here because I'm trying to. I forgot which number I put you on.
Not that one.
Put you
There
on number
we go.
3.
There
Got you on number 3. All right, so now we
1,
know.
2, 3.
Well, I did me one because,
Okay, because you're number 1.
well, it's just where I run because I got to run those at 48 volt.
He's
I run.
running.
That's what it is. I'm number 1. Only on here. Everywhere else, I'm like number 4 or 5.
That's not true.
So, what do you have planned for us?
As far as like our music,
Yes.
yeah, so we are 90s like hard rock, alternative rock. It's got a little sprinkle of pop in there. So we have a wider range. It's probably one of the biggest comments that we get from people that are here at the different venues is that we have a wide selection of music and also music that you don't necessarily hear from a lot of other bands. So we kind of pride ourselves on that. But we do have some like Evanescence and little Kelly Clarkson, System of a Down, just added some Green Day, Offspring. Yeah, I know. Make it probably rattle off more than I can off the top of my head.
So, you're going to blow our minds when you get here, right?
I hope so.
Well, you've been here
I have a
enough.
lot
I
of
mean, you know
friends
what
that
to
are
expect.
judgy now.
That's right. And they're all going to be here looking at you
Yeah.
you missed. You were an eighth of a step down. No, you know people aren't going to do that.
I'm
You know
one
they're
of
going to be
those
very
people.
supportive.
I'm so critical of myself, and my guys are like, "You sounded good," and I was like, "No, like I'm one of those people that'll sit there, and if the band makes a mistake, I'm like, yeah, he should have done this." I was like, "Yeah, I know somebody's gonna do it to me, so I'm like, I want to try to be as perfect as I can."
I was told I can be too critical.
Yeah, so
I'm getting better. I'm actually getting better. But it's going to be on. It's going to be on video for 2 sets, so you're going to be able to tell because
I
you can go back and
know.
listen to
We're
it.
super excited about that too, because Mike, one of my, well, I have 2 mics, guitar and bass, and but we call Mike my guitarist H. So yeah, H was just like, "Did you know he does video?" And I was like, "Dude, I told you guys all that to begin with." I was like, "I want to go to the Bottle House. I love," but I'm like, "Thank God that you guys went smoke free because that was really kind of the breaking point with me. My
Right.
vocals don't do well with the smoke, and I was like, when you told me that, I'm like, please have us. Like,
Truthfully, it was a breaking point with a lot of people.
yeah, it really was. I mean, I had a lot of people that had just quit coming here because of the smoke, and so many people were so excited when that was announced.
Well, everything comes in time, right?
It does. It does.
And perseverance.
Yes.
And somebody's saying, we got to go smoke break. We got to go smoke.
Exactly. Come on, you do it.
We're
You go
there.
outside to smoke.
We're there. We're making some other, actually, by the time you get here, we're going to have some additions to our PA system.
Oh, really?
We're
Okay.
going to tweak some
Nice.
things on that. We just had a meeting last Sunday about that.
Okay.
See, my problem, my mic's not hot. I got to have it there. So if
Right
I
in front
turn
of
my
your
head,
face.
which is a good thing, I don't want people to hear me. I'm scared of these things.
Oh,
I'm a scared. Back when I was playing, somebody stick a mic in front of me. I get that damn thing away from me. I don't know what the hell to do with that.
yeah. That's what my bassist says. He's like, no mic for him.
me playing guitar, get that damn thing away from me. It just screws me up. I'm not a singing guitar player. I'm not a singer at all. Period.
Okay.
I suck.
Right.
I suck.
Yeah. My bassist, he doesn't sing. Mike sings. He's actually come out of his shell quite a bit, and trying to get my drummer to come out of his shell even more.
Well, you've even come out of your shell a little bit. At first, you were kind of. But when you were here, you were kicking it.
Yeah, I've had people that have seen. I think we probably played at Tampa O'Brien's the most, and we've had people that have been there since the beginning that have come up to us, and like the last time that we played there, I think in March or February, and they're like, "Holy crap!" Am I allowed to cuss? Okay.
Fuck yeah. What's that?
They're like, holy shit. They're like, you were good to begin with, but holy crap. Like, they're like, you've come out of your shell, you're out and about, on the stage more. And then they could just tell that the confidence is there.
Well, and I'm going to be sitting right where he's at, staring at you the whole time.
That's all right. I'll come over
Come
there.
on, give it to me. Give it to me.
Come over there. I'll give you a hug while I'm singing it.
Well, you know how the bottle house is. You got to get these people involved.
Yeah, I know.
You got to get the crowd involved. You know that.
Yep.
Or else they'll sit here and
because they don't like getting up and dancing.
they'll sit there and stare at you. You got to go out there and force their ass to get involved.
I know. That's what I tried to prep them. I was like, there aren't a whole lot of dancers. Like, probably Tampa O'Brien's is the most. Bourbon on Main was good. We had some good people there, and we got into OCC. That was fun. Hopefully we get back in there too. But no, we're really excited just because the crowd base here are people that I've known throughout the music industry here. I mean, I've been coming here since I moved here in 2012. So
you moved here like the year before I did.
really?
Yeah, because I moved here in 2013.
Okay.
So you got me beat.
Yep.
We're like Floridians now.
We
After
are.
10 years, you're
We
automatically
are.
a Floridian. So
Exactly.
we're here. We're stuck. Everybody asks me, so where are you
I
going to go
have
on vacation?
allergies now, so there you
yeah.
go.
Well, I had those, and believe it or not, I had that in Arizona.
Oh no, I never had them till I got here, and I didn't even have them until about 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, it affects me too.
Yay, me.
Well, your body goes through it goes through a change every 7 years.
Yes.
So I never had allergies when I was a kid.
Right.
The funny thing is I had asthma when I was a baby,
Oh, okay.
but that doesn't affect me. But allergies never bothered me. And then, as I get older, which I'm definitely getting a little bit older, I'm going to be 40 next week.
Bullshit. I got bullshit on that one.
Yeah, so do I. Everybody's on that bullshit.
I know.
But yeah, I've noticed over the past probably 15 years, the allergies have been getting worse and worse.
Oh yeah.
Some days I'm just like,
bad.
oh God. Especially when my truck turns green.
So bad. And this is like longer durations. Usually it's like done and over by now, and I'm like,
know.
when's this shit gonna go away?
It's not.
So I'm like, oh, the only upside is that I can sing a few songs in a little deeper tone than I normally.
Well, they have those magic vocal.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I know,
I don't do the vocal effects. I'm like, if I can't sing it, it's hard enough because my poor guys, their pedal boards are like the size of spaceships because they've gotten tuners where they can.
We're warning you right now, guitarists are freaks when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Half the stuff we don't even use, we just like to look at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. H uses every bit of his, and then my poor bassist, he's like Mike's gotten I think he started out with us a little over a year ago with one pedal, and he has probably 6 now.
I've got a bookcase full of pedals.
Okay.
I have my Helix,
Okay. Yeah.
which is basically it's a computer that I can't use because I haven't figured out everything yet.
Right.
But I had pedals back when I was playing. I would just barely add just a little bit of nuance from that pedal.
Right.
But if I didn't do it, nobody else could hear it but me.
Right.
And it was like a security blanket.
Okay.
I had to hit that pedal.
Okay.
And of course, when Waz came out, we all went nuts with Waz.
Right. And
And then they came out with talk boxes. And I'm like, I gotta have me one of those. And then I realized how stupid I looked with a tube in my throat when I'm trying to play. And I thought, yeah, maybe that's not the most flattering thing in the world.
Yep.
The good old days.
Yes.
So tell you what, why don't we bring this guy up here? We'll introduce. We got a member of the band coming up. I'm going to. We can stick him on either. You can go either side. I'm gonna go in here and zoom out just a little bit more.
See, this is fun in person. I like it.
Yeah, but the problem is now I got to drive home, so I won't be able to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh, well, damn.
And I got to tear all this shit down. See, at home, I basically hang up my headphones, turn the computer off, and
Oh, so
go to
you
bed.
normally do this shit at home?
I do it at time.
Oh, see? No, it just made you. No, this is even better.
I try to come in here. The last time I was in here was a complete and utter failure.
Really?
I didn't have the right equipment.
Oh, okay. Well,
It
that's not
sucked.
the case tonight.
It sucked. Well, I got all this fancy new shit. I mean, this freaking thing, it's another damn computer I'm trying to figure out how to use.
Yep.
All right, so talk away. Make sure I got you.
Check. Test one.
All right, can you hear?
I can hear.
See, you can hear.
I am.
Everybody can hear you. Like I said, their mics are kind of hot.
Okay.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a hot mic, so if you see me trying to keep this thing in front of my face.
Got it.
She's the mic pro. We should be taking lessons from her.
No
Yeah, how to use these things.
Yeah.
What is it? You got to, like a monkey.
So go in and out.
Like a monkey.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, I think I just tapped it out. I actually have another one that I could have brought in, but I don't like them.
Oh, really?
They're too hot for me. So, just like this is a freaking simple SM57. I like 57s and 58s.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up with. I mean, they got these freaking $500 pod mics and shit. I'm not buying a $500 pod mic. Everybody says, you ought to get that, no.
Nope.
No. I mean, I don't think it makes that much of a difference with the sound that I really need to invest $500 in a mic. And then I got to buy more
Yeah.
because when I have guests.
Yep.
No, mics are definitely tricky. I was like, the first mic I think I bought was a Telefunken, and Keith, what else? I don't really got his last
Hancock.
name. Yes, thank you. He's like, that's not the right mic for you. He's like, get a Sennheiser or get SM58. And I was like, so I got the Sennheiser, and I love it.
Well, honestly, a vocal mic for singing definitely makes a big difference.
Right.
For me talking into a mic,
Right.
who the hell cares what I sound like? Who cares what I look like? I always told everybody I have the perfect face for radio.
Aw.
So let's swing over to this fella here. We didn't really formally introduce you.
Sure.
Introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and tell us all the secret stories about her.
Yeah. I got a couple. No, I really don't. Although we did just spend some time together in
We'll
Daytona.
just get a little bit closer there.
Yep. We
I
were
know
in
it kinda sucks.
we were in Daytona for Rockville, so we spent some time there together. But yeah, so my name's Nate. I am the drummer for Reality Bites, and spent a lot of time with Steph in practice and in shows, and yeah, just plugging along.
I know you haven't lost all your hair yet.
No, but I do hide it.
That's why
Yeah.
God made hats.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Absolutely.
I hate to tell you when you come here, you see that thing right there?
Yep. Yep. He's mentioned it to me.
Sorry.
Times. No, it's okay.
No, you're.
Sorry, we put you back in the doghouse.
I was like, I told him before. I was like, you're gonna be behind the drum shield. He was like, huh? I was like, yeah, no exceptions.
It actually
Okay.
makes a huge difference. It really does. I mean, you as a drummer,
Yeah.
I mean, in a small venue, the stage is that big, you just get the roll through, and it's just much easier to control.
Yep.
And if not, and actually, I was telling Stephanie, we've actually got some new gear that's going to be hitting. We're going to be testing that out hopefully this weekend when it shows up. So we're going to tweak the PA a little bit, try to get some better sound. Get rid of these 8s and put up some nice tops.
All right. All right.
And then we've been having issues with monitors, so we're resolving that too because those are going to be monitors now. And
Oh, okay, nice.
so we're tweaking. We're always tweaking.
Excited. I know Rick knows what he's doing for
Well,
sure.
and if Rick wants something,
Rick gets
he's
it.
not going to give up until he gets what he wants.
I
Like I
keep
said,
hearing good things, so
Yeah.
I want to take care of you.
we haven't worked with him yet, right?
He did our very first show at JFK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve-O was supposed to do, and then he ended up coming in and saving the day. So yeah, he nailed us like right from the get-go, and that's a hard venue to get decent sound from.
Honestly, it really is.
It really is.
I mean, you got a big open ceiling. You got all the. You're playing against a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got everything there is going against you. I mean, we do everything we can here with soundproofing as much as we can to try to hold it in.
Right.
We actually got some good sound, good lights. Got a shitty guy doing video, so I can't
Yeah.
promise you the best outcome when it comes
He's
to that kind of crap.
absolutely terrible. Have
I
you seen it?
suck. Everybody says, "Well, what do you? How did you learn how to do this?" I said, "By coming here and figuring out how to do it." I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I have no freaking clue.
He's like, I just push the button.
Yeah.
I do. I just, I hook everything up and keep my fingers crossed and it all turns on.
Yeah.
And then I just push buttons and it just goes
It's
different
got
views.
like a little microphone coming out of the bottom. It's really kind of impressive. So
I do have a little mic. Actually, I've been coming up right before the bands come on, doing a little quick snippet, and I actually went wireless.
Oh, did you really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
because I had like a 15-footer, and I could only make it so far up the stage. And I had to stop.
Oh, that's true.
So now I can go all over the place and talk. Not that anybody really wants to hear me talk, but again, I use this mic,
There
my
you
little
go.
wireless thing here. I love this mic.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's just a simple little SM57. I don't need anything fancy.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Does the job.
who needs that fancy shit?
Right.
Like I said, she does.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to have this
Just me.
Sennheiser. And I'm gonna have
The princess over here.
I am a
Yeah, I
girl.
know, freaking princesses. Princess has to have. Probably, does she have it all blinged out and crap?
No.
I-
She didn't Taylor Swift it yet.
No.
You know, I am not a girly girl like that. I don't want it. I got it black and gray.
I know you're a Jeep driving, top off. Although, from what I see, you might have
Don't
to
get me
make a little
started on my
change.
Jeep. You make me cry.
Oh yeah, well, you know,
It's like
Um,
a complicated relationship with that thing.
yeah, especially the last few months. So
we'll just buy a new one. Buy a new Jeep.
because this still just like ends up being a money pit. I'm like, yeah, how many, like literally that Jeep that I have within the first year, I had to replace all of my rocker heads. I mean, they were all under warranty, but they just all shit the bed. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I've got a new transmission in it, a new radiator. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, also the bad thing about Jeep is once you have a Jeep, you got to buy all the Jeep shit.
Jeeps, yeah.
It's like having a Harley.
Yeah.
You don't just have a Harley. I mean, you have a bike to put shit on.
Right?
You know, you have a bike to spend a bunch of money on. That's why they call it HC $100.
Yeah.
Every time you go in a Harley store, you're going to spend a minimum of $100.
I got it working great, and I replaced my seat. Somebody's cheering over there. Woo!
Hey, let's keep it down over there, would you? We're doing a show here. Come on. That's Ed. So, I mean, yeah, they're fun, but if people, actually, I hate to say it, if people started sticking ducks on my Jeep, I would have a fit.
I don't have one duck in my Jeep.
I'm not a,
People give them to me all the time, and they go in my glove box.
I'm not a
I
duck
don't like
on the
clutter.
dashboard, yeah. Well, don't get my truck. It's a work truck.
I have
It's
two
cluttered.
ducks that I'll bring it every once in a while, and they're dragon ducks. But that's all like.
I'm not into the whole duck thing. And,
No.
when I see those, like, that's why I don't think I'll buy a Jeep now, because I don't want people sticking ducks on it.
Ducks on it. I know.
A friend of mine, she it was one day last week, she wanted to go out to dinner, so we did. She said, well, I'll drive. Well, she's got a Barbie Jeep. Got pink shit all over it, and I'm getting in this thing going, oh my God, I hope nobody sees me. In fact, my neighbor was walking by. I said, if you tell anybody about it, don't you tell a
Out
soul.
over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, oh. I was like, oh God.
That's hilarious.
And no top and the suicide doors.
Yep.
I said, if you roll this, of course, we're only going like 150 yards
Yeah. I
to the
know.
restaurant. I said, if you roll this thing, I'm going to go flying.
I'm just so mad because my kids got me fender liners for my Christmas present, so I just put those on, got new side rails, got new seat covers that I had to take my seats out and put them back in, take it apart. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, that's just interchangeable if you buy a new one.
No, but only if I get like the 2015 to 18, and then I'm dealing with a whole shit ton of miles again. You know how many miles are on my Jeep? Everybody they're 248,000.
Oh, well, God, you're complaining because it's having issues?
Yeah.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's been around 10 years. But I used to travel as a personal trainer all the time. So that was
But
like
you
a
got your
travel
money's
car.
worth out.
I did. I did. I just.
So you ought to kiss it when you go out
I
and say
do.
thank you for
I
taking care
do.
of
I
me.
kiss it. I rub him. I'm like, please don't die. Just
You definitely got your money's worth out of that.
I did. I really did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, I'm like, people are like, and I was like, he's 10 years old. I'm in 2015. So,
Yeah.
Well, and besides, you're kind of, you got, so her Jeep is, it's slightly lifted a little bit. It's back up a little bit.
2 inches. Well, with my tires, it's about 3 inches.
Yeah, but for you, it's like 10 inches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You make it look
Watching her
big.
climb into it is
I'd open the door and I get out, and people were like, did you just slide out of your Jeep? And I was like, yes, I did.
Well, it was funny when she was here and got up on stage. I said, Christ, I got to adjust all the cameras down now.
Yep.
Cameras, microphones.
Yep. The whole thing.
You're not going to get a break from me. You know that.
Oh, I know.
In fact, I'm going to be giving you grief the whole time you're here.
I don't
Because
expect it, but I dished it back out pretty well, too.
that's fine.
Yep.
I need somebody to talk to them. Nobody likes me. Nobody sits with me anymore. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Of course, when they do, they annoy me. Maybe that's what it is because I run them off. Don't touch the table. You're shaking it.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yep.
Yes. Part of it. And then everybody clears out, and I get to sit there and.
You have like that stink face. So, like, I come up to you because I don't give a shit. I'm like, give me a hug.
But that's my work face.
I know, but I'm like, but yeah, he's always sitting back and like,
Well, I'm staring at this. I don't get to enjoy the bands. I'm staring at this freaking thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can't look up because I gotta see what's going on here because I'm constantly changing views and crap.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's just, and quite honestly, especially when it's on a Friday, I'm dead ass tired.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Well, so I'm a contractor by day. Work my ass off. It's hot as shit.
Yeah.
He does amazing work. I've seen it.
I get
Not
it.
in person,
I
but
get
yeah.
it.
He does amazing.
So Friday I'm up at 5. Actually, Saturday might be the worst night. So Friday I'm up at 5 o'clock. In here till usually 2:30 or 3.
Yeah.
Then I go home. I'm up. It's 5:30 or actually 6:30. So I get 2.5 hours of sleep Friday night.
By choice, don't you get to sleep?
Oh
on
hell
Saturday?
no! I'd sleep till noon if I could.
Well, what's
With
waking
us-
you up on a Saturday?
The sun, my dog,
They make blackout curtains for that.
my dog. When Zeus has got to go, Zeus has got to go, and he's like a dinosaur.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to clean that stuff up. I mean, fucking kid's that big around. So. No, but he wakes up, and when he wakes up, it's like, Dad,
Forget all
gotta pee.
that.
I want to eat. Get your ass out of bed. So then I'm here all night Saturday night. Then I get home. Guess what? Sunday,
Yeah.
up at 6:30 or 7. I have to go back to work to get rest.
Bro, I
That's
bet.
the only time I get any sleep because then during the week I can go to bed at 9. Of course, that's what I said. Tonight you drug me in here, so I won't get to bed at my normal time. God,
I don't like gigging on Friday nights.
No.
We've done like a 3, 4, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
it's a long day.
It's
It is a long day.
And I'll have to come in tomorrow because Gary's playing. Gary Shutt's playing tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. I have to
So
come
told
over here.
everybody that if you haven't seen Gary Shutt's one-man show,
Oh, we got practice tomorrow night,
we do.
but I can stop on the way in. I like, how long's he gonna
time's
be here?
practice.
7 to 10.
Yeah.
He'll be here at 9. He starts at 9.
Okay. Oh, good. I'll swing.
So you can
by.
swing it afterwards.
There you go.
He'll be in here wailing away. And when I say wailing, I mean, we all know Gary. When I say wailing, I mean wailing.
Yep.
Gary's amazing. Can play anything, and he does take requests. People come up with some oddball shit. Request for him. Just blow his freaking mind. Now, he'll look at you and say, "Fuck you, I ain't playing that anyway."
I met him for the first time. My friends Christina and Brad Keith. Christina's birthday's Christmas Day, so Brad played the Scream Machine. So everybody would be over there. Well, they had Gary come over, and he was doing karaoke out on the patio there.
That's good.
Nobody knew I could sing. I mean, I never let anybody know I could sing. So I go out there and I think I sang Grease with them, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I didn't know you could sing," and I was like, "Yeah,
Well, Gary has a pretty darn diverse background.
he does."
I don't know if you saw. I did.
We always, yeah, even Mike's always just like, he's so fucking talented.
Yeah, well, Gary was on my show. He was on, I want to say about 2 months ago.
Okay.
You get a chance, go back and check it out. He goes, I tried to get him to talk about more about his past, but he's like, come on,
Right.
Gary. Come on, Gary, brag about what you
Yeah.
did.
Give me something.
The guy's just amazing. And
Yeah.
he's not just a guitar player.
No,
He's an amazing drummer. Well, all of his stuff, he plays everything.
right.
On all of his albums, he does everything. The vocals, bass, guitar, drums, keys.
He's a one-man show.
I told him, I said, is there anything you can't play like oboe or something? He's well, I never tried.
You probably could.
Good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's just one of those, kind of virtuoso type of guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't have perfect pitch, but he's a virtuoso. Have you ever met anybody with perfect pitch?
I did.
Golf.
I mean, if you come to a practice and find out.
So when people ask me that, I'll say, let me sing. You'll figure out in about half a second. No, I don't have perfect pitch. I don't even have pitch.
Yeah, my kids don't have perfect pitch. But yeah, I do.
All right, I'm going to challenge you here in a week and a half.
Yeah. Well, we won't even make it sometimes. 2 notes into a song, she's like, you're off. Not
Yeah.
me. I mean, it's hard for the drummer to be off pitch, but,
Well, I hear that.
yeah.
When I'm listening, I hear,
It's more
trust me,
like-
if you guys make a mistake, I'm going to hear it. But you know what? It doesn't matter because there's not a band that hits this stage that doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just, it
Gotta roll with it.
Oh,
It happens.
I fuck up lyrics all the time.
mean-
And I get so mad at myself and I start laughing. He's like, don't draw attention to it. And I was like, why? Everybody fucks up. I don't
You
care.
know what? And
I'm like, it makes you
embrace
human.
it, laugh about it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I was like, it's relatability.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But that's what you've come a long way, even just in the time we've been doing it. But unless people know the song so well,
They
they're
don't care.
like if you
Yeah.
say one word, different from the first, second verse,
Nobody cares.
nobody cares.
yeah.
So
Nobody cares. We don't judge by, your knowing every single word to the song.
Right. I know.
I judge by butts and seats.
there you go.
Yeah.
I tell every band, you put butts in the seat, I'm a happy dude.
Yeah,
It's my job. Fill the place up, and if we don't, and it's empty, I'm thinking, shit,
Right.
this sucks.
Yeah.
How much money are we going to lose tonight? Because you damn musicians are getting expensive.
Oh, I know. I know.
Getting worse every day.
Sorry, not sorry.
We need a raise this year. We need a raise this year. I was like, so do I. Well, yeah, and we've had this when Russ was on. I don't know if you saw the interview with Russ. So we 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a long time.
So
That's
Russ is
a lot
the
of
owner.
talking.
We talked about this. So we have a max capacity of 129. You got to factor in the staff. So typically on the weekend, we got 2 behind the bar. We got 1 on the floor. We got Rob, me. We got Rick, Veronica back there. Okay. That cuts it down to, let's say, 120.
Right.
Okay, so we're paying a band. I'm going to throw a number out there and just say, Center. They're making, they're expensive, so they're making more than most.
Right.
And I'm sitting there looking, okay, everybody in here has to drink this much amount of liquor for us to make money. And then I get beer, I'm like, we don't make anything on beer. Drink liquor, drink liquor, drink liquor.
Drink liquor. Yeah.
But yeah, we have to keep this place busy
I know.
to pay for the bands. I mean, honestly, the bands are not a money-making aspect for us. I mean, they are because they bring people in, but we don't physically make money off the bands. We make money off the people that bands bring in.
Right.
So,
Right.
bands cost us money. Damn it.
And you guys do a good job, advertising and stuff too, because we really try to, especially
Yeah,
within a couple
when I-
of weeks,
when I
push
get
the media and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm doing so. Lexi, for a while there, I was doing everything. Now Lexi is doing the stuff during the week. Like the weeknight stuff, the tournaments and all that stuff.
Right.
But I'm still handling all the band advertising, and I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, you.
I don't know how you do it all,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, seriously.
I was like, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
So I've got my little notebook for the schedule, so I've started working on that for 2026. So if I'm at work one day and I can get the guys busy and I can sneak away for 15, 20 minutes, I'll go sit in my truck and work on schedule. If I get home, I might take an hour or two and go in and sit in front of the computer. I try to get back on these videos and do some edits, but that takes hours. It takes
Yep.
hours to go back and do those edits.
Yeah, for sure.
So, usually I get to 1 a weekend, and so Sundays, if I get up, I'll go back and sit in the office, do all the advertising for the week, change the header, and so on and so forth. And if I have time, I'll do an edit. But that's 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. I know.
So, yeah, it's a lot of work. And I haven't figured out how to do this shit any quicker. Everybody says there's programs that does it for you. I said, well, I can't find them.
Right.
And they're not going to do it the way I want it anyway. I mean, not that I know what I'm doing.
Right,
Trust me,
right,
I
right.
really don't.
Well, I'm like a self-taught photographer. I did part photography for years and taught myself Photoshop and stuff like that. And I'm like, my editing hours were like between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's when my creative juices get going. And
Well, if I'm awake at 1 a.m. in front of my computer, something's wrong. I'm either asleep or in here.
right, yeah,
Oh, well, of course, as you get older, that's probably my first tea break for the night, about 1 o'clock. First one, because there's another one coming for you.
once you break the seal,
The golden years, my ass is tinfoil.
you're not that much older than me. How old are you?
40, I told you.
Oh, bullshit.
I am that close to 50. I'm going to be 59 here soon.
Okay, I was gonna say 58.
Yeah. Well, I'm 58, but I'm going to be 59.
Okay.
You always round up. Although I should
Yeah.
round down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I can still round down.
yeah, I'm tickling 60 pretty hard.
Okay. I know. I was a little like, I haven't really cared about my age, but I turned 56 this year, and I was like, damn, man.
Well, see,
I was like,
problem with 56,
4
that
more-
means you're closer to 60 than you are 50.
Yeah. And I was like,
Kinda-
we're just like 4 years away from 60. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm just a little over a year away from 60, so I don't know how to feel about that either. I never thought I'd make it to
yeah.
50.
Really?
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
So,
My,
but-
my 40s and my 50s have been like literally my best years.
yeah. I was on the road from 17 to roughly 30, so
Okay.
I'm surprised I'm still alive.
Doing music or
Yeah.
not?
Music, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played weird. Back in those days, we played 6, 7 nights a week, and it sucked. I mean, it didn't suck. I mean, it did suck. Because then it becomes a business. Then you're working all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of fun, a lot of debauchery, but when it became just, got to go to work tonight,
Yeah.
then it became, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I tell everybody, it's like, I'm a woodworker. I can build furniture and love it. When I have to do it for a customer, it sucks.
Sucks. Yeah, it really does.
Then it's a job.
It does. Yeah.
You know, obviously I remodel a lot of houses.
Yeah.
And,
I love doing a whole lot of creative stuff, photography, flipping furniture, drawing. I was an art major, and I was like, but it does when it comes to having to have to do it for somebody. If I'm excited about it for me, I'm like, I get that shit done like right away. If I have to do it for a client, even though they paid me for it, I'm like, ugh. It's like 2 weeks.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
you done with my stuff yet? Yeah.
Now I got a boss, and everybody says, "Well, you work for yourself." No, I don't. I've got a different boss every job.
I work for the people who pay me.
Right.
Well, like I said, I don't even get to know my boss because by the time I start getting to know him, we're done and go on to another job. Then I have to learn
Right.
somebody all over again. So
Oh,
it's just that whole process. Fortunately, I get along with 95% of my clients. There's always that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they come up every time. But for the most part, I've been lucky. So what do you have coming up besides the Bottle House?
Besides the Bottle House, we have O'Brien's in Brandon in June, and then O'Brien's in Tampa, July.
Yep.
And then August, we have a new venue called Double Bogies out in Lutz.
Yep.
And then Bourbon on Main, and back and forth to O'Brien's in both places. And what else do we have?
I think that,
Trying to do OCC again. I just need to call Vic.
gotta get back.
And then, hopefully you guys dig us and we'll come back here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm booked out for the year, but we have cancellations. But I am,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm starting to book out 2026.
Oh, really?
Obviously
Okay.
this year I was kind of behind the eight ball. Due to circumstances, we had a
Right.
slow start.
Yep.
There were bands that I couldn't get because they were already booked up. I
Right.
said, not going to happen this time.
Right.
I'm going to be the first one.
Like, we're booked up for what we want to do until November.
Good.
So
Good.
I'm like, we're adding, if there's a new venue, we'll make an exception, and add it to our calendar just so we get our foot in the door there. But yeah, I'm like, we're comfortable, huh?
Like we just did that last month, right?
Yeah.
We,
Well,
we don't normally do two in a weekend, but we did a Friday and a Sunday because they're both new venues for us.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try to, like you said, get the foot in the door.
Well, I'm very
I
simple.
love
So when
it.
you're here next weekend, if you put asses in the seats, I'll be hitting you. If you don't put asses in the seats, that's Stephanie. But we got to talk. We got to get people. What do we do to get people in here? But it's all about. And I tell the bands this all the time. You got to help me advertise. And
Yeah.
You guys do.
Yeah.
I've got bands that just they don't do anything. They show up, wonder why nobody's here. Well, you got to get your people. You got to advertise to your crowd as well as us to our crowd. You got to work with me on this. I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So, and I got a lot of bands that are great about it. In fact, they're sending me stuff every day. Put this on, put this on, put this on. And there's some of them that's like, okay, we show up.
Right.
Where's everybody at?
Where's it-
Well, do they know you're here? Do the people you usually play for, do they know you're here? Well, did you do anything? No. I don't know if you noticed on the Facebook page. Okay, so I'm going to give away my secret. Everybody watching this. On the Facebook page, when I put in there, okay, if you're interested in playing at the Bottle House, please send me this.
Yeah,
To
just
the-
saw
to
that.
this.
Yep.
That, folks, was a test. Simple following directions. And I had guys tell me, we don't really do promo packs. So if you don't do promo packs, that means you're not going to advertise.
Right.
And when people were still messaging me and sending me a direct message on Facebook, said, you're supposed to send it to the email address. Simply follow. And I,
Right.
whenever I get an email, I try to respond. And most of it, I really appreciate it. We're booked this year. Let me sit down and start the bookings, and then I'll try to work you in.
Right.
And I tell them, send me a promo pack, send me your requirements, whether it be monetarily or tell me, hey, we want a $200 bar tab or whatever it is. Send that to me so I know. And when they don't, I'm like, okay. So that's a tip to everybody. So all those bands out there that are sending me stuff, I ask for that stuff for a reason.
Yeah.
Follow the
And I do own a business, and I'm constantly doing stuff like this to my guys to make sure they're listening to me.
keep them on their toes.
Well, it's kind of that game.
Yep.
If you're paying attention, then I'm more apt to okay. I'll be more responsive when you send me the stuff I need. And some of them been great. I've probably had 30 emails from that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, new bands that want to get in.
No.
I mean, a lot of them, there's some duos and so on and so forth. And we're just not really set up for that yet in the future. Like I tell them, who knows what we're going to do next year. I mean, right now we only have it once a month on the fourth Thursday.
Okay.
So I have Zebron and James, and then I have Gary. And we're going to rotate that for a while.
Okay. Okay.
But other than that, unless we decide to make some changes, it's all full band. Full band. Because I can't really do a duo or a single on a weekend.
Yeah.
No.
People want to come in for a full band.
And that's usually it's usually the opposite problem. Like we've tried to book some venues that they're only duos and solo, and we're like, we're probably a little much for them.
Well, and that's a lot of bands, that's their bars, that's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Because they want kind of, I guess you can call it the dinner crowd.
Yeah,
they're
it's
serving
kind of like a
food.
laid back, vibey dinner crowd.
Just
kind of
like
thing.
the music just kind of undertones your dinner. And
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We serve peanuts.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I can't say that because we
And
have
hot
had got a new food truck that's been coming in. She was here all last weekend. She won't be here Friday because of a previous commitment, but she'll be here Saturday.
Okay. What
And-
is it? The salty
Salty Moon food truck.
moon.
So she does like gourmet fries, tacos, and jumbo hot dogs.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
And I give the girl credit. So we talked Friday at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. She agreed to come in. So she actually that night before all this ran out to the store trying to get all of her stuff together so she could be here that night.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So she busted her tail to be here. Saturday was a little bit easier because it was already planned.
Right.
But people were coming in saying, "Man, it's great, it's fantastic."
Good. That's awesome.
So, well, we have to have something here. We do lose a certain amount of business because people do want to come in and eat. And like I told her, stay late because when they get a few and beers in them, then they're going to want them. They're going to. You got the munchies. What happens when you drink?
Sure.
Everybody does it. When you drink, you get a little tipsy. I got the munchies.
Yeah.
So just be out there and wait like a vulture.
Yeah.
Also,
Drink,
you guys
drink, drink.
do have great popcorn.
It's a bag.
No, it's okay.
Microwave
But it's
popcorn.
still good.
Well, anything's good after about 4 or 5 beers. Shoe leather tastes good after you're
I
drunk.
know. What was always peanuts, hot dogs, and popcorn?
Well, I mean, you can still get the popcorn.
Yeah.
You can get some fries and get popcorn later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're gourmet fries.
Yes.
They're not just fries; they're gourmet,
Gourmet
fries.
fries.
I mean, she has all kinds of stuff that she puts on them, and I try to not watch what I eat because watch my gut
A
expand.
little bit.
But yeah, quite honestly, because I don't eat during the day, so usually Fridays when I come in, I got to stop and get something on the way. I hate to say it, Panda Express is my go-to because if I got to get something, at least it's not a juicy, greasy hamburger.
Right.
Right.
But I can't wait till like 9 o'clock when she gets here to eat because by then I'm starving. Like,
I want
I
some food.
need something in my belly, and coffee doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I drink coffee all night, but that
good.
doesn't fill your belly. In fact, my
No.
coffee's almost gone.
Shame.
I am an all-day coffee drinker as well. Like I'll have it at 9 p.m. Doesn't bother me.
I normally don't, but when I'm in here, like when you're here, I'll be drinking coffee. I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking about 1.5 years ago. So usually I come in, especially on a Friday, get a Red Bull, a little kick in the ass,
Yeah.
which I think I've become immune to that now. It
Yeah.
doesn't affect me anymore.
Coffee.
Yeah, your
coffee,
caffeine can
Yeah, I think I'm immune
build
to it.
tolerance to
Yeah.
it.
So that, and then I drink coffee and water all night.
Yeah.
And usually by 1 o'clock, I'm sitting there. In fact, last weekend, the band was here. They did 2 long sets. I'm like, oh, I just want to tear this shit down. Like, damn, that's a long set. Come on, guys. Come on. Actually, I ended up shutting down before the end of their second set
Oh,
because
really?
over there, I got to run everything off backup batteries.
Oh,
So I completely ran out of battery. I can make it through the intro and 2 full sets. And that's about how long my batteries last. And they were going, I'm just watching. So my 2 backups died, and I'm watching that, and I was down to 13%, 10%. And I'm like, that not going to make it, guys. I got to shut down. So I missed like the last 2 songs of the set.
oh wow. Okay.
But, yeah, big deal.
It happens.
Big deal. Yeah. So what else you got?
No, what do you want to know?
I want to know everything. This is the dirt.
I want the
Tell
dirt.
us,
on it.
give us all the dirt on her.
She doesn't.
Does she snort when she sings? Like,
No, nothing like that. At least not that I've heard yet.
You know, I will say, I think we're very different from other bands. We do have like a family closeness, and
that's the ones that stick around.
yeah, and we just work together. I mean, there's no conflict, there's no arguing.
You got to have a little bit of that, though. That keeps you healthy.
Oh,
I mean,
but it's,
yeah,
it's
So you got to have a little bit of
yeah.
So what I will say is so we have a pretty big age difference, right? So I'm the baby. I'm 40. So and the rest of them are in their 50s. So
that. Pushing 60.
yeah. Well, one is which we just learned.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike's
can't.
58.
Still can't believe that.
I was like, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
you're not the oldest.
No,
Oh yeah.
for a change, I'm not. Crazy.
Usually I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
But what that does is it allows us to have obviously a very wide range that we could pull from, right?
Mhm.
So I'll come in with a couple different song suggestions, and they'll look at me like,
Fuck no.
"Never heard of that band." I'm like, "Yeah, they were on every radio station like when I was in high school," and they're like, "Still don't know it." So we'll go through, and that's kind of where the give and take comes in. She'll
Yeah.
name a band that was like big in in years that you were in Virginia or whatever, and we'll just talk back and forth and say, well, okay, I'll give you that one, I'll take this one. Like we'll kind of compromise. And,
Well, see, if it happened after 90, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
well, then
Well,
you
you
won't know a
know-
lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And it's funny because I'm like, a lot of the stuff I know from the 90s, but a lot of it for me, it was like either a relearn, like I've heard it and I know it, but it wasn't anything that I really went out of my way to like listen to a lot, except for Green Day. I fucking love Green Day.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Really, I know, it's a love-hate thing with them. I either find people love them or absolutely just fucking hate their guts.
I'd say it, and I've had this conversation with another band. I don't like Nirvana.
Yeah.
Crucify me. What can I'm sorry. I just never really got into Nirvana.
I don't have a love for them. I don't mind them. I like them enough to sing them, but
I think
like-
more than anything, it's for me, it's the respect of like what they did.
Oh, I
Right.
actually.
16, like they definitely put things forward.
See, the problem with Nirvana, you got to remember. So here I am. I'm this long hair, 80s spandex wearing. Yes, God forgive me. Playing the fun party music from the 80s, and all of a sudden these dudes are up there wearing freaking flannels, and they look like they haven't taken a shower in a week. I'm like, what happened? What happened to all the fun music?
No.
So yeah, I was pissed at them. That's what it was. Not that I don't like them. They just pissed me off because they screwed up my music, my good time fun music. All I said I can't play that stuff. It's depressing, and it was depressing.
I always get the question. They're like, "What's your favorite song from the '80s?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have one. There was so much good music, and I wasn't one that ever fit into a box. I mean, I started playing piano when I was 5. I've sang my entire life, whether it was church choir, madrigals in high school, did states, and then went and did choir in college and stuff. I always just had like a foot in everything. I love punk. I love, the new wave stuff. I love, what we considered metal back then, Iron Maiden and stuff. And then, or just your regular rock and roll, Def Leppard and Van Halen came along. And I mean, they kind of shook things up, obviously.
I mean, I'm the guitarist going, what the hell is this guy doing?
But I was like, I love The Clash, and I love, Social Distortion ended up being, and I was surprised at him. I was like, I said, you know who Social Distortion is? He's like, I don't live under a rock. But I was like, yeah, they came in because, obviously with what's going on with Brad Arnold, they bowed out of Rockville with Three Doors Down, and so they brought in Pretty Reckless, who I missed, trying to get up there because of my fucking Jeep. I was so mad.
Yeah.
My Jeep caused me to miss a lot of the bands that I wanted to see that night. I got there late.
But it took care of you for 10 years.
No,
It's
We
done you good.
still a little salty.
What's funny when you were talking about like how you got your foot in like a little bit of everything music wise. I kind of didn't for the longest time, so I can vividly remember. And I call them now like the gateway drug for me, or the gateway band for me to get into some like the harder stuff, like metal, was My Chemical Romance. And,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and that's another band that a lot of people are like, oh, they sound terrible. I hate that. I hate the email thing.
Yeah, I love them.
But like before that, for me, it was like Coldplay and Dave Matthews, which isn't bad. I'll still
I
listen.
cannot stand either one.
And I know you can.
I'm not Dave Matthews fan.
Oh, nope.
Don't worry, I've never come to practice suggesting that we play any of that stuff. So she's
If he mentions something, I'll just shoot him a look, and I'm like,
yeah, that's
he's like,
yeah.
okay, never mind.
There's some looks that I'm like, okay, that's a hard no. So,
Kind of that look Zeus gives me when you don't want to do what I want to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
all right.
Gotta go pee in the rain? No.
but yeah,
Yeah,
from that point forward, like when I first started hearing like, that kind of stuff, it was around the same time. MCR was probably around the same time as what Lit, was big then. Bands like that, and then that's what got me more into like, oh, this is really good. And then I started listening to heavier and heavier stuff. That's what led me
Right.
to like Avenged Sevenfold and Slipknot, and
Yeah.
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Papa Roach.
Papa Roach,
Yep.
yep, anything like that. And then I was like, now those are my favorite bands, favorite genres.
If it didn't come out of the 80s, early 90s, I won't listen. That's not, I'm kidding, because I've actually got a very diverse,
I'm sure you probably have.
I mean, you look, people, if they look at my Pandora list, are like, dude, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what
I'll go
people
from-
used to say. People come up to me at the beach and they're like, you have like a fucking killer ass. Like we can hear it over there. You know, it's like a mix of 80s, 90s, like everything. And they're like, can we like borrow it? Like, can you?
Yeah, can you share this?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go from old school country to thrash
Yeah.
and everything in between. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not hard thrash. In fact, I remember back when, well, first of all, when Alice Cooper, everybody thought, wow, this guy's weird. And then, you know, Marilyn Manson came out, wow, this guy's weird. You look at guys now, I mean, they make them look like freaking
Right.
you know, angels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Alice
listened to,
Cooper's about as religious as they come.
oh, yeah.
I'm like, a lot of people don't know that.
Which is so funny because if you see his stage show,
Yeah,
It's,
I know
uh,
exactly.
It's a
You're
persona.
like,
You know,
what?
it's a persona. It's all
Yeah.
about.
for sure.
And that act made him a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Kiss.
Yeah.
I mean, Gene Simmons is just business.
Yeah.
If we put on makeup, people are going to buy our shit,
Yeah.
or people are going to come see us.
Yeah.
So that's what it was all about.
I mean, hey, they knew what they were doing.
Absolutely, because they've made a hell of a lot more money playing music than I did.
Yeah.
They made more music playing in one night than I made in my whole freaking life.
Yep.
Jason James just popped on and said, "What's up, y'all?"
Oh, hey, Jason.
I need to keep telling him he needs to get his ass here to the bottom. Of course, you know.
He said he's got a gig that night or something, and he was going to try to.
Nah, cancel that crap, Jason. Cancel it. Come on, I booked you here every other month. At least, you know, come on, support the Bottle House.
I know. I will say, I'm like, even Rick from like Sobriety X, I've had so much support from fellow musicians that I've gone and supported, you know, over the years. And they're like, I'm so proud of you for doing what you're doing and getting out there. It really, the camaraderie that's come out of this has just been astronomical. And like, so, I'm just so appreciative of everything. My sound guy, James Demko, he's like, you guys are just like a whole different breed. He's like, I love working with you. I'm just, you know, we're down to earth and we're nice people. You know, I don't have a fucking ego. I was like, there's no reason to. But I just am sincerely appreciative of people that come out to watch us and the support that I get from, you know, venues and fellow musicians.
Well, actually, I was having this conversation. Somebody, it might have been on the show last week. We were talking about that. One thing that impresses me in this area is the camaraderie, musicians supporting musicians. And I love to see other musicians come out supporting other bands.
Right.
You know, I think that's just fantastic.
Right. Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I don't get to go many places because
Right.
obviously my ball and chain is here now, so I don't get to go out very much. But it's great to see other musicians come out supporting
Right.
different bands.
Yep.
So it's just a great thing. And we have, I mean, this is a melting pot for great musicians.
It really is. Like, I grew up in Virginia, and I'm like, we had decent music up there, but I mean, nothing, and I lived out in California, nothing, hands down, beats the music scene here in Tampa.
Yep.
Like,
So-
absolutely nothing.
Speaking
There's
of which-
nothing like it.
This fella that just popped up here has to be one of the hardest working mofos in music.
Yeah. I know. He's got no life either outside of his
I know.
farm and all the bands. I was like, he's in another band now?
I know he's in like 27 bands now.
Yes. Going on to 30.
He's got the sound company. You know, David, we love you to death, man, but you are a working mofo.
Yep. He is a hard worker.
You need to take a weekend off. Of course, people tell me that too.
Yep.
Where I get where are you going on vacation? Florida.
My couch.
I live in vacation land. Yeah.
Yeah, if I take a vacation, that's what it is. Stay home and sleep. Yeah.
I just want nobody bothering me so I can sleep.
Yeah, I keep telling him. I mean, David and I'm trying to get David on here, and it's just because he has so much going on.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I got rehearsal with this band that night, got rehearsal with that band that night.
Or he's running
Got a
sound.
gig that night, or I'm running sound this night.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely got to get you on here, David. Soon. We'll do it. We'll do it like a Sunday and pre-record it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But I don't have to do it on Wednesday, and I can come home and go to sleep. Just to push play and go to sleep.
Yep.
Or I think I'm going to start doing it here like once a month, give or take.
Yeah, I think we should.
Although, hey, just keep it down over
Why
there.
did you say that?
Just keep it down over there.
Where's mine?
They can't hear.
Nope.
Some wild ones over there. Hey, Steve! Oh, they can't hear me. I keep forgetting that, you know, we're not broadcasting out here. I thought about actually coming in, setting up a PA and doing this for everybody to hear.
Yeah.
But I figure half these people don't want to hear me.
You
Probably
never
more than half these
know.
people.
Have you tried it at least once?
No.
You should.
Maybe next time.
If they hate it,
And
then
then I'll say, turn that shit off. I'm watching TV. I want to listen to the jukebox. Or I'll start singing and they'll go,
Yeah,
oh,
just have it like down low in the background. So
Yeah, I might try
think
that.
it would be pretty cool. I
might try that.
honestly, I assumed that you did this here live.
Yeah.
I didn't know any different.
That's all my
I didn't know
studio.
if you did it in your studio. Didn't know if you did it in your closet in your house. Or
That's all. I got a little my studio set up, and I change it around all the time.
okay.
But yeah, I sit there with Zeus by my side and
Yeah.
just chill out and do it. And everybody just, the good thing, the program I use, I can have 10 guests on, 10 remote guests.
Okay.
And you just log onto your computer or even a phone. And then you can set your phone up in front of you and just go in there.
Right.
So, but it is nice to come in here every now and then and do it live.
You did.
Every now and then. Not every night. Don't get any ideas.
It's a little personal touch.
All right, David. Soon for sure. We got you. Obviously, you heard her. Stephanie says hi. She thinks you're a hard ass worker, too.
Yes, I do.
We need to send him on vacation.
I don't say a lot on Facebook, so I'm like, I'm relatively quiet. So unless people really get to know me, I don't think people think I'm a bitch, but they're just like, I always used to get that in the
Yeah,
gym when
yeah,
I
we
was a
think you're a
trainer. Shut up. I'd be like working out and they're like, oh my God, you're so nice. And this and the other. And I was like, well, what did you think I was going to be? They're like, I don't know. You always had like not an RB up. And I was like, well, I'm fucking working out. What am I going to do? Smile while I'm curling dumbbells or something?
You know, we're friends on Facebook. You see what's on my page.
Yeah.
It's either Bottle House or work. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't really post anything personal.
I don't post anything. My Rockville, and then like the most I've posted, I think recently is Rockville, and then my poor Jeep.
Yeah, I saw that today.
And then shitty drivers. That's the other thing. I was like,
yeah, well, that, yeah. I could post on that every day.
Oh my God. I'm like,
Special big Facebook group.
literally,
Sure.
nothing makes my blood boil more.
You know what I've learned? So instead of listening to music, a lot of times when I'm driving, because I'm on the road a lot, going to trailer,
Right.
I listen to podcasts. Well, for one, so I can compare it, because again, I don't know what I'm doing. So I can see how shitty I am at this, listening to good
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I listen to Joe Rogan. There's a ton of them out there that listen to him.
Yeah.
And it just, it kind of just chills me out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes,
Listen to
everybody says, well, I listen to music. I like listening to music when I'm driving. I said, sometimes music gets me a little bit pumped up.
Pumped
And I
up.
sometimes I just need to chill out before I choke somebody out.
Yeah.
Because there is road rage.
I will just drive with like nothing.
I'm like
I still
that.
am Jason.
Not like when we were coming back from Rockville, we were listening to a book. We like to
Yeah.
that tape. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of just relaxing, especially with something because, trust me, I've been researching all this shit for months.
yeah.
What to do, what equipment, because I want to do some different stuff in here, and I'm researching how I can do it. Because I want to actually have cameras up behind the stage. I want multiple cameras, and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this work with what I have available? So I'm always on, I watch YouTube videos on that, or occasionally I'll pop in. It's like today, Memorial Day always, my father was in, it was called MacVSOG in Vietnam.
Okay.
And there's whole podcasts out there that, go into details about MacVSOG and so on and so forth. Sometimes I listen to that. Even though I know a lot about it, I like to hear what other people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, occasionally I listen to that. Like I said, Joe Rogan, if it's a good guest. So I was like, nope. Oh, yeah.
Right. Let's do this one.
He actually had one on, who was not too long ago. Oh, he had Jeremy Renner on. And I love Jeremy Renner. I watched, of course, he was talking about the accident and everything. And, man, hell, the guy was basically crushed to death.
Right.
And now he's back to freaking acting and running again.
Yeah.
Guy's amazing. And of course, the musicians he's had on there, obviously, so listen to
Right.
them. So.
Yeah.
And I found a couple other ones that I like. So I'll just pop in a podcast and just. The good thing is Spotify, whatever. In fact, I might start doing this on Spotify because, let's face it, I don't need the video.
No, yeah, that's true. I love Spotify.
A lot of people say they just listen to it and they don't, because, the videos here, some people listen. I said,
Yeah.
well, if I put it on Spotify, I have to figure out how. I don't know how yet.
Right.
Like I said, I'm an idiot. Don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I do have the YouTube page. And that's speaking of which, everybody go to the damn YouTube page and subscribe. In 14 years, I can make $15. Trust me, it's not to make money because you need like 45 billion
Yeah.
subscribers and umpteen 1,000 hours worth of videos before you even make a nickel.
Yeah.
It's not about that. I just want to I do this for the musicians and for the venues. I don't do this for me. I care less. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I care less. But I started this to support local music.
Right.
So it's not for me. I go home and go to bed. So yeah,
I know.
it's get out
I
there.
think it's
support.
really cool. And
Yeah.
I was like, when you started, and I was like, it's actually a really cool concept too. I think it just brings the music community closer together. So
What it is people that maybe they've seen you, but they really don't know you.
Yeah.
Now they feel like they know you
Yeah.
and they can come up and talk to you.
Exactly.
On break, people. Not during when she's up there singing. On break. right. But I think it kind of pulls the audience in to where they don't feel intimidated to talk to you. They
Absolutely.
come up, hey, I saw you. And,
Right.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, a buddy of mine said, well, this girl somewhere starting a podcast just like yours. And he said, but you're the OG. I said, you know what? I don't care. Because if she's doing it, she's probably doing it. She's a lot younger. She's probably doing different,
Different genre.
I said,
absolutely.
let her do it. That's, again, the more attention we bring to local music and musicians and local venues, the better off we are.
And there's so much variety out there. You could probably have 10 people doing a podcast and still not cover the
Exactly.
amount of musicians.
And I might delve into different subject matter at one point.
Right.
But it has to be something I know something about, so that kind of really limits. Russ and I were talking about, I said, what are you going to interview a surgeon? What am I going to do? Sit there and go, blah, 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 blah. It's got to be something that I at least have some basic knowledge in.
Right.
So I'll figure something out because, booking musicians for this is like booking musicians for the bar.
Right.
Like,
I know you asked me and I was like, I work on Wednesday. Like literally most of the Wednesdays I'm closing at like 6. If I get out at 6:45 early. So I was like, I don't know, man. I'd have to just like coordinate with you and like take a Wednesday off or something. So this just happened to work out because I happen to remember, I'm not closing tonight. So.
well, and I can't always do them like pre-recorded
Right.
and play them, but I actually like doing it live because I do like the audience interaction. I like the
Right.
views and the comments and so on and so forth. But I always can record them and do them.
Right.
I mean, people don't really ask questions; they just comment. Occasionally, somebody will ask a question,
Right.
and I can plug my phone in. People can call in, but that'll distract me.
Right.
If I plug my phone in, it's probably going to start going off because of work and everything else. Yeah,
I know.
got to check my phone every couple minutes. In fact, I was talking earlier, my phone started going off, and it was work. It was a customer asking me a question. I'm like,
Right.
you realize I've been off for like 3 hours.
Get out of here. I'll do it with you tomorrow.
My office hours have stopped.
That's too funny. Yeah.
All right, so-
I don't know. Do you have any questions for me at all?
Yeah, fire away. Or if any pop
Yeah. Anybody have any
Go
questions?
through. Now they're all making comments.
Any comments?
This is what everybody does.
So,
So Brittany said I can hear you. Annette said she will definitely be here dancing, so we're going to hold her to that.
yep.
Jason James, what's up, y'all? David Lee, obviously, what's up, D? And David Lee, we were talking about him coming on soon for sure. And then, I guess we were talking about a closet, and Jason came back on again and said Dwayne's no longer in the closet. Well, hey, Jason, you lived with me for a while, so, buddy, if there's some issue there, yeah, I'm the one that had to lock my door. Remember that. Jason and Ronnie, I love the guys. They're just, two of my best friends in the world. Ronnie Zebron.
Oh, yeah.
Speak about a
Yeah.
freaking musician.
Yeah.
He's another one, just freaking every time I see him, I said, I'm just going to stop playing, Ronnie. Every time I see you, I either want to pick up my guitar or just want to sell them all.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
No, but Ronnie is just a
Either
great.
have to be as good as you or I'm done.
And Ronnie is the most humble. He would help anybody. He is the most supportive, humble guy you'd ever meet, and just an amazing musician.
Right.
Amazing. See, everybody talks about, okay, who's the best guitarist? Is it Gary? Is it Ronnie? Is it this guy? I said, they're all great.
They're all great.
But they're all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Gary is a freaking technician. The guy is
Right.
amazing.
Right.
Ronnie is one of those guys. He plays. It's all here. He
Right.
plays from the heart, and you can tell he feels everything he plays.
Yeah.
And then we've had so many great guitarists come through here. We're great musicians. Look at Jason Lawrence on the drums. Oh my God, Jason.
Yep.
The guy's a freaking animal.
Yes.
Did we
Jason
run into him
from Supply Chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing, he's up there and he's got this face like, and you talk. Jason's the nicest guy ever.
He is. He's little like I am. And I was like, he is absolutely the sweetest, nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
When he's behind that kid, it's like, yeah.
I
I'll
first
fight
met
your head off.
him. He was filling in for Scream Machine because Dave was out, and that was down in St. Pete. And I was like, oh, cool. So we got to talking and stuff, and then and then I knew Josh. I met Josh. He was originally, I think, it was One Eyed Jack.
One Eyed Jack, yep.
And in fact, I was up here, I sang with him, and that was only one time because I was not expecting it, and I was a little intimidated because of the Lady Gaga song that I really wasn't that familiar with. So but yeah, he is. I mean, their supply chain has just taken off.
Oh my God.
Like, so,
Yeah, I was talking to Gary the
they're
other day,
starting
and
to
he's
tour
like,
and everything.
I was like, I'm going to lose supply chain, aren't I? He said, well, we are kind of blowing up. But I said, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better group of people. I mean, Jason, Chris is fantastic.
Chris is
Gary,
great.
everybody loves Gary.
Chris is
And Josh
great
is
guy.
just good people all
They're
the way
four
around.
fantastic musicians,
Really.
and they're doing what, and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they're just down to earth, nice people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, on
Yeah.
top of it. So
Like I said, they're all great guys, and I'm lucky because probably 95% of the musicians that come through here, I consider friends. I mean,
Yeah.
even the new bands, by the end of the night,
right.
consider them friends.
Yeah.
And we've had some great new bands come through here this year. And that's what I've been doing this year. I've been trying to kind of find some new stuff, just some new
Right.
meat to bring in. I mean, we got Blackthorn Rose. They're phenomenal. Twisted Revolvers.
Right. Yeah.
God, she can sing. Pat Benatar. Oh. And, but everybody in the band sings. And they're great musicians. Actually, the guitar player, and you'll recognize this, the guitar player and drummer are actually the touring musicians for Brittany Fox.
Oh, really?
Usually when I say Brittany Fox, everybody's like, who is she? No, it's not a she. It was an 80s. It was an 80s band. They were, they were kind of, that 80s big hair,
Yeah.
MTV. But they're the touring guitar player and drummer for
Oh,
Brittany
that's
Fox.
very cool.
Remember the song Girl School?
Right. Right. Yep.
So yeah, it's just and actually Blackthorn Rose, their guitar player, again, great guy. He was actually one of the guys that was going to try out for Ozzy after Randy died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's actually good friends with George Lynch. And when he found out George was doing it, he kind of backed off of it. But just some amazing musicians around here.
Yeah.
And I get to see them. I mean, so let's be honest. Not every musician that hits our stage is great. But like I said, I respect everybody that gets up on the stage. Because to me, when you get up here, if you're, even if you're just starting out and you're just getting your feet wet, you're still putting it all on stage.
Yep.
Because let's face it, you're not getting rich playing in local bands, live band, or you're not getting rich playing in cover bands.
You're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm paying you to tear down and set up. Everything in the middle is free. I mean, that's what it boils
Very
down
true.
to, honestly.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get rich doing this. But, I've always looked at places like this as, we're kind of developing bands. Because eventually, once you get to a point, you're moving on to bigger.
Yeah. Supply chain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, Headbang, they got their start basically on the stage, and they're blowing up.
Yeah. They're.
90 Surge, they're blowing up. All those bands are blowing up.
Yeah.
And now, I can't keep reminding them. Well, you remember,
Remember where you got your
Yeah,
start.
remember when you were begging to get here?
Yeah.
And I still have bands all the time. Everybody says the Bottle House is like a bucket list place. You got to play the Bottle House.
Right. It is. I've even told them that. I was like, we need to go to the bottle house. We need. But again, the smoking thing was what was killing me.
know. Well,
From
we don't
really
worry about that
pushing
anymore.
Bubba to like have us. And I was like, maybe one day when they go smokeless.
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Nope.
It's over.
Nope.
Just these things.
As soon as you did that, I hit you up.
I know,
As soon
I
as that happened, I was like, can we play there?
I know you did. And actually, a couple bands, we'd like to get back in.
Yeah.
And I understand it 100%, especially from a vocalist,
Right.
because it does have an impact on you.
So hard on especially mine. I mean, it just doesn't take much to kill my vocals sometimes.
Well, smoke rises, so you should be away from it.
And yeah, I know.
Sorry, I mean, you know it's coming. I'm going to pick on you. I'm going to tease you.
I know.
Like I said, literally when she got up, she got,
It's all
now I
good.
got to adjust all my damn cameras down.
Yeah.
Probably will.
Step. So,
But yeah, it does have an impact on your voice, and we understand that.
yeah.
And it had an impact on our clientele as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much.
I get every now and then, well, we won't come there because you can't smoke there anymore. So, okay, so every one I lose because of that, I gain 10 more that we wouldn't have because we're not smoking.
Right.
So, you know what? You walk right outside that door.
Yeah.
It's 15 feet away.
Yeah.
Walk outside, smoke a cigarette, come back in. We're going to be here. We're not going to pack up the band when you sneak outside and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's still going to be here.
Yeah.
And actually, even the smokers, a lot of them said, we appreciate it. Because it got to the point, and we're not a big venue. And when you get, say we have 80 people in here and 30 of them are smoking, it fills up. And, Rick gets a little trigger happy on the smoke back here on the stage anyway. So,
Right.
so
Yeah.
between that and all that, and then, you get the cigar smokers and the smoker smokers and Rick and the vaping, and it all just kind of blends together and turns into just a freaking
Cloud.
Hiroshima cloud
Yep,
right in the middle of the room.
It is. It's so crystal clear. Like back through like the bar, I keep looking at the bar and I'm like, it's pretty, and I
it's
feel
it.
like see it now.
Well, and I'd leave here, my eyes burnt, and that was after, because, I used to leave here at 11.
Right.
I used to stay for one set and go home.
Yeah. I
Those
mean,
days
that's
are
about what I
gone.
did.
Those days are
I'm like-
gone.
Because that was how it was. There, like raccoons used to even be worse than here.
Mhm.
You couldn't even go in there for an hour. You come out and you would just reek of smoke. And they finally, I think, post-COVID, went smoke-free. And we thought it was just going to hopefully be like a trickle-down effect with everybody. And then because of that, I think they started pulling in more musicians to them, because I would always go to Brandon O'Brien's before COVID. I was my go-to Friday night, and then I bounced between here, Raccoons, and O'Brien's with whoever's playing. And but yeah, I'm like, one band I miss hearing, and Adrian was a musician that I met very early on when I moved here. Adrian Adonis. And he's become a good friend of mine over the years, and watching him go from band to band. But I just popularity.
But yeah, we waited too long. I admit it.
Yeah.
Of course, we tried this. We were going to start, what was it, October. Then we had a hurricane. We had another hurricane.
Right.
We were into the holidays. And it just seems like
One thing
everything's
after
kicking us in
another.
the ass. So we already had to close down for a week after the hurricane, because basically we're out of power for a week.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just moved everything back. And finally we just said, nope, we're shutting down for a week. We're going to get it taken care of, and bam.
Yeah.
And that's
That was it.
Yeah.
and that's all it took. And yeah, I mean, just the difference. I mean, the people come in, they're happy. I mean, it gives me a little bit more work to do, because I have to monitor the front a lot more. And I really haven't had any issue with anybody. At first, the first month or so, somebody would
You get a
light
little
up, and
resistance. Yeah.
they'd light up. And most of it was, oh shit, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
And even out front, because we don't. You can take the bottles out front. You can take all the plastic cups, but just our glass cups,
Right.
we don't want out front. So occasionally I got to go out and deal with that. But most of the people are like, oh shit, dude, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Right.
So
Like legitimately, I
we
get
don't have
it.
we don't have any problems here.
Yeah.
Like I said, my job is, and I want this place to be some place where people come in, they feel comfortable, they have a good time, they don't have to worry about getting shanked in the parking lot. Of course, once it's in the parking lot, you're on your own.
Right.
I'm not going out there. But they can come in and feel comfortable and safe.
Right.
That's been the goal.
Right.
Occasionally somebody gets a little rowdy, and we have to tell them, maybe you had enough for the night. It's time to move on. We're here, drink some water and try it again tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And occasionally they get too rowdy too many times. We have to say,
That's enough.
that's enough. You've had it. We're done.
Right.
He's not going to have it anymore. We have that occasionally, but as far as fights,
Yeah. No.
knock on wood,
Good,
I
good.
know.
there hasn't been a fight. And I don't remember the last fight, really.
Right. Yeah. 'Cause sometimes there would be out back.
Well, I think the way I approach it, if you can hit it off before it happens,
Right.
then you've solved it.
Right.
And a lot of times I can look around and say, okay, I see something brewing, and I'll keep an eye on it. Then I'll go over and talk and say, hey guys,
Yeah.
but
Sit down.
the rule is very simple. If you fight here, you're done for good, for life. You don't ever come back. If you're in a fight, you don't ever come back.
Yeah.
Period.
I've heard about the banning. I was like, that's a thing.
We've
I'm
actually,
like, even the owner of Beer Shed will ban people from there. I'm like, really?
Yep. And we've reevaluated a few of them here lately. But yeah, if you come in here and you start a fight, or if a guy is inappropriate with a lady,
Right.
you're done.
Right.
And when you're done, we got a nice little book back there, and you go in the book,
Oh, nice.
and you do not come back. Period. That's it. And if you try to come back and don't listen, well, then we take the next step. Then we get on the phone, and then we trespass you. So yeah, we want everybody in here to have a good time. And again, people come, have a blast, have a great time, drink, party, be merry. Just don't fight.
Be kind.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I'm kind of like manager, security, booking dude, so on and so forth. And I'm 5'10", 170 pounds.
Right.
I'm not the most intimidating dude in the world, but I've learned as I get older to use this.
Yeah.
So you need to
usually
be
the-
my size, because I get told I'm intimidating all the time.
If I were your size, I wouldn't need a step stool to do a backsplash. Actually, you laugh about that. If there's something that breaks out, I'm grabbing Jenna.
Yeah. Okay,
Jenna's a pit
yeah.
bull. Yeah, she's the first one I'm going to grab. Jenna, get out here.
Yeah, I'm very my friends will 100%. If something goes down in the bar, I am
Well, first of all, at your height, if you punch a guy,
the fierce
you know where it's
one.
going, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we don't want to get punched there.
No. So I've had people. I was down at Ybor, and one of my friends at that point, some shit with that, with the guy being inappropriate with her, and I told him, and I'm like, she asked you not to come over here again, and he just didn't listen, and he comes back over, and I stepped in front of him, and I knew the owner and all the bouncers, and I just literally had to point and do this, and they were on him. Fists were flying, and I'm like, and he started to walk away, and I went to like grab at him, and one of my guy friends snatches my belt and pulls, like, where the fuck do you think you're going? Kind
You
of
little-
thing. I was pissed. I
little
was
brute.
so pissed.
You little brute.
So
brute.
I'm very feisty.
I know you're a
So,
brute. You are kind of intimidating.
yeah, I've been told. Just don't piss me off.
mean, you know.
I'm like, I am nice until I'm not. It takes a lot for me. I used to just get pissed off real quick, but
You know, dynamite comes in little tiny sticks, so
it does. It does.
you can pack stuff into a little tiny short stick.
The big boom.
Well, and you know, I know if something does break out, and people don't know this, I've got 15 people in here any given
Oh,
time that got my back all night.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I mean, but I don't want any altercations with anybody.
No.
It's not worth it.
No,
And for one, I
I don't
don't
go
want to
out
throw.
looking for shit.
No, and like I tell everybody, last thing I want to do is ask somebody to leave.
Right.
Because, you know, if you throw one person out, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell 10 of their friends. So it's that trickle down. I want everybody to come in and have a good time. You know, there might be times where they've had too much for the night, and I say, dude, I'm chill, drink some water, come back, let's do it again tomorrow night.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to throw them out. Everybody says, well, are you throwing me out? No. When I go out and talk to people about the classes, are you mad? No. No, just do me a favor. I'll bring you a plastic cup. Just switch me. That's all. No, I'm not mad at anybody for that. You know, we're just trying to control things. And the better we can control it, the better night I have. And then, you know, obviously the last set, after I tear it down, you know, I kind of do my walk around, talk, say hi, and just because, you know, after the witching hour,
Right.
that's when everybody's had their, you know, their fill of booze. And occasionally I got talking, hey, dude, I think it's time you backed off a little bit. And I'm also worried about people leaving here and driving or whatever the case may
Right.
be. I don't want anybody to leave here and, you know, have anything major happen.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing where like the beer and the liquor comes in, because I want to have a good time and be able to socially drink, but not get shit faced, you know.
Well, the problem with drinking, so you get to this level, it lasts for like 33 seconds, and then you're either here or here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You can't maintain that perfect because you get to that, this is great, I feel fantastic. 10 minutes later, I'm drunk.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I always was. I remember a few nights in here, my birthday a couple years ago, when I was holding that pole up outside. I've had a few. Actually, my birthday was 3 years ago. Swipe Right was playing.
Okay.
And that's when they were buying me shots and the 4 Horsemen, the dreaded 4 Horsemen. My buddy Brian got me one. So Dakota dragged me up there, and I'm standing there with my arm around. I'm like, Dakota, you got to hold me up, because if you move, I'm going to fall over. So I think I made it to 11 o'clock,
Oh wow.
and I was done. I mean, I was more than done. I was like, Dwayne's ass is going home and going to bed. Don't wake me up for 3 days.
Oh,
Yeah, I was feeling kind of rough. But I've quit that all this stuff.
good.
I've grown up. I've matured.
Good. You're mature.
In fact, everybody says, well, why'd you quit drinking? I said, I really didn't quit drinking. You know, I'm not going to say I'm not going to have a drink every now and then.
Right.
I just, you know, I'm driving.
It doesn't do anything for me anymore either. Like, I don't drink to get drunk, you know, I just social drink. I just even being at Rockville, like my daughter, I was buying her more. She's a little bit of a lighter weight, so I'm like, she had a buzz and stuff, and I'm like, I'm having to like drive home, but I was like, what's the purpose of me paying $13.50 for a few
my
drinks
God.
that I'm not gonna enjoy later?
Exactly.
And
I'll just have water.
and being 94 degrees.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
that's it. Literally, it was like, and I was just doing neutrals. I was like, neutral,
Yeah.
2 bottles of water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Neutral, 2 bottles of water.
You know, with me, I don't get much sleep on the weekend as it is. I sure as hell don't want to wake up with a hangover. The hangover days are done. And now I drink 3 beers and I got a
We're
hangover.
too old for that shit.
Oh, hangovers suck. Hangovers literally suck. I hate them.
Ruins the whole next day.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be able, you know, back in the day,
Sometimes
because I drank when I was playing, I drank 18, 20 beers.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, of course, you know, back then, y'all got it easy. We had incandescent lights. We got these big, huge lights that are putting out 4,000 degrees with the old gels on them, and literally it was 140 degrees on stage. And then in the bigger clubs, we have this flaming beam of light hitting us right in the face because a lot of times we had spotlights. And oh God, I'm melting up.
That's the one thing I don't like about Tampa, Brian. Like, turn the fucking lights off. I'd rather have just like back ambient lights than shit shining in my face. Because I'm like,
here it's all LED.
I can't see. I can't see anybody out here. You
Well, here
know?
it's all behind you.
I know, which is great. I was like,
yeah, this we turn out.
you literally here was like the best of all worlds because you have fantastic sound with Rick. You have fantastic
Say that.
lighting
Then he's going to get all big headed.
with Rick. I love you, Rick. And then, you know, it just everything else. I mean, just to go along with it, it really is kind of the
The
perfect.
video guy is phenomenal. What he does.
Of course.
Don't forget
it,
Yeah,
don't forget
video guy, yeah.
Actually, he's
So,
he's a jerk.
well, because I mean, Bubba used to do like a lot of the video, but it was just from his phone. So the video quality definitely is
See, I have an issue.
there.
I am slightly OCD, and when I do something,
You do it.
I'm like, okay, what
300%.
can I do to make this? And even now, I'm looking, okay, well, how can I improve upon this?
Right.
How can I make the sound better? How can I add more views? What cameras do I need to make it look, give it that look that I want to give it?
Right.
And I'm looking around here going, so how the hell can I get wires? How can I get cameras there and here and still get wires over there? In fact, I told Russ, we had the meeting, I said, I might be in here trenching the floor one night. So I can run power over my table. He's like, oh, yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah, quite honestly, he'd say, okay, that's what you need to do.
yeah.
But I'd have to do it, and I don't want to do it. So.
I was like, yeah. I was like, we don't have to hire anybody to come in. I was like, friends taking pictures, you got videos, everything.
You
else.
know, the great thing is plug and play.
Yep.
And a lot of the bands, well, we charge this. Well, you got to remember, we're supplying,
X,
so,
Y, and Z. Yeah.
so you come in, bring a gear, you plug in and play. Rick's going to take good care of you.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't even have to drum. You don't even have to mic your own drums.
No.
Yeah.
They'll be in here. They'll get you unless you want to.
No.
Some guys want to mic their own stuff. But they come in here, they get you all mic'd up. You come in and set your kid up. Wait for him to say sound check.
Mm-hmm.
And like I tell everybody, if Rick tells you something, listen to him because 9 times out of 10 he's right.
He's right. Yep.
You know, he's been up there talking to guys, how to set their amps up. And they're like, who the hell is this guy? Then half an hour later, like, shit, he's right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I've had bands say, I've been using those settings that Rick set me up with since we left there.
Yeah.
I said, the guy he's like a savant.
Right.
He's just, God, he's so tuned into this. I mean, Rick and I love him like a brother, and sometimes you want to kill your brother. It's one of those family things where he's a brother, and sometimes you want to take him in the back room and go,
I'll smack you around a little bit.
but don't fuck with Rick, because I'm gonna be on you.
Right.
So.
Right.
And with Rick, you get Veronica,
Yes.
and even though she says I don't work that, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you
you
do.
do.
Yeah, you
She's
work
out there
here.
all the
You
time.
don't. You just don't admit it, but you work here.
She does.
No.
And she does so much here that she doesn't get credit for all the decorating and stuff. That's all Veronica. She does all that stuff.
That's awesome.
And she's up here helping. I always, when a new band comes in, I said, so when Rick comes here, say, so I hear you're Veronica's assistant. They won't do it. They're like, right, doing that. I said, do it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
It'll be fun. It'll be funny. Just do it. Yeah.
There you
The
go.
guys last weekend, I said, when he comes in, say, so I understand you're Veronica's assistant. They're like, we can't say that. Trust me, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
He's going to know where it came
He's
from.
gonna know. Well, who cares? He's gonna know you're fucking around with him.
But yeah, he does a great job. I admit it. He is, and I tell everybody, he is OCD, but we need somebody like that running sound.
Yeah.
I mean, we need somebody that's,
100%.
He hears, we were in here having our meeting Sunday, and he's talking about the sound. We need to switch these because I can get this frequency. And it's true, if we put bigger tops in, we can actually drop the sound.
Right.
I'm like, Rick, how many people hear what you're talking about? Maybe 2% of the people that come in here are going to hear that. Everybody else just wants to come in here, good show.
Yep.
I said, but I get it. You want everything to sound just the way you want to. And yes, and it'll help us actually control the volume.
Right.
Because sometimes bigger is better because you can actually get better sound at lower volumes with the right equipment.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, he's like, sometimes
Yeah.
I know, Rick, and you got to tell Russ we need this. I know. And we had our meeting and we all talked about it and everything worked out and now we move forward. Like I said, like I told Russ, you point and we'll take care of it. Point your finger or we'll get it done one way or another. Yeah. Hey, give me the checkbook.
Tell them about your dad.
Oh,
So it's a little interesting tidbit that I have.
yeah. So, and that's probably I told the story to James, and I think that's part of why like you guys are so down to earth. I love working with you. So I don't. My dad's been a stagehand for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's like all he knows. He's done sound for everyone from The Who to Dave Matthews to Slipknot, like you name it, like every band, Metallica, like you name it.
So Rick, straighten your shit out, or I'm gonna hire his dad.
He is retired now.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
And,
you know,
I mean, I guess you never really retire though, because
but when we offer him here, he will jump on.
that's you're probably right. You're probably right.
I mean, who can pass up the company here, the $13 a night that he's going to get? Well,
Yeah,
I'll give him a
really.
tab.
Yeah. As long as you got Rumplemans, the Rumplemans.
Oh,
don't
see, I
know.
love Rumplemans.
Yeah.
I knew I liked your
I
dad.
hate it. Oh,
Do we? I don't know if we have that.
No. I'm saying I love it. I love Rumplemans.
I hate it.
What is it?
It's a peppermint schnapps.
I don't know if we have it or
No,
not. I couldn't
no.
tell you what we have back there for booze. When I was drinking, I drank Captain Coke or Coors Light.
Yeah.
That was it. I have my little bubble is this big. It was either Captain and Coke or Coors Light. Anything else? Somebody drink this, drink that. No, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. I don't change.
Yeah, and ever since I was a kid, that's like it's always been in the freezer, like for special occasions or whatever else. But he's been doing this for so long, and he came down. Well, he does the snowbird thing, so he comes down here for about 4 or 5 months every year. Came to see one of our shows. Unfortunately, wasn't our best one, but he always he'll find the silver lining. in
Positive.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he just loved seeing me up there playing. But it's just funny because things that I think are normal, right, from my childhood, going with him. I mean, I didn't go like work with him, Metallica or whatever, but he would do all kinds of small gigs too. So he would just do stuff around town, little events for all kinds of different groups. And so I would go with him for like setting up and taking things down, and free child labor, of course. Now,
Well, yeah.
yeah. So, but like that's all I know. Like that's normal to me is setting up mic stands and like wiring and tying up cables and stuff like that. So when we finish our set, and I'm like putting my drums away or I'm just taking things up, I'm like coiling cables, and James has come up to me. He's like, "You guys, you don't have to do that." I'm like, "I know, but I kind of know what I'm doing, and if I can help you get out of here faster."
Don't do that when you're here because Rick will he'll have a seizure.
Fair enough. That's fine. Everyone's got their ways.
Just a tip. We'll keep it on the down low. Don't tell anybody.
I will.
It's our secret.
I gotcha. But I
And
think
don't put anything right there. Over on that corner of the stage. That's where he sets his stuff.
I was really. We're in the know.
But it's funny you mention that because I grew up in the military. I was born in the military, grew up in the military. My father back press was at our house pretty much every day, and you get used to it. I got used to that kind of lifestyle, and it's
Yeah.
everybody says, "Would you serve?" Oh yeah, I served from the time I was born until my father passed away. Because trust me, my father was hardcore.
So did mine.
Oh, he was a badass.
So did mine.
Like I said, he was Silver Star and everything on down.
My dad was Force Recon, retired full bird colonel from the Marine Corps, decorated. And
So my father was SOG, so they pulled from, Green Berets, SEALs,
right.
Recon, CIA, and he intimidated me to the day he died. He couldn't walk across the floor, but I was scared shitless of him. I mean, not physically, because, but it was just one of those things where he'd give me that look like, shit,
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
I'm fine.
I'm in
I was.
trouble.
My dad intimidated me to like an extent. My dad and I butted heads like my entire adolescent adult life. And then I think it was like a turning point, like after I had gotten married, had kids, that, I could sit there and, talk. And I'm the oldest out of two. And we were sitting there at dinner one night, and I told my dad, I was like, my brother was there. And I was like, well, you always treated me different than Brad. He's like, no, I didn't. And my brother was like, Yes, we did. And my dad just looks like, now we're older, we can like counteract. But my dad's, go against what he said. And my dad just like kind of looked shocked. And I was like, look, I'm the firstborn. I was the girl. I took the fucking brunt of everything and just like paved the way for my brother, who's 4 years younger than me. It was like, we didn't do anything together. We didn't go to school together, nothing. So I was just like, okay, well, you're off scot-free.
So with my father's connections and background, my expectation was I was expected to go to West Point. I became a long hair freaking musician.
Right.
Trust me.
I wanted to be a female
father
Marine.
wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, my father was tone deaf, so he didn't get it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's too funny.
But when I became a musician, and I'm like, burn that bridge, didn't I?
I'm very athletic. I grew up riding horses. I was equestrian rider, hunter jumper, and anything I did athletically, I did well at. But I wanted to be a female Marine, and my dad. Probably the one time that I listened to him and didn't give him any lip. And he's like, you'll never make it. And I was like, because I'm not a runner at all. Sprinting, yes. 50-yard dash, all day fucking long. 100-yard dash, all day long. Long distance running, forget it.
They make you run 12 hours.
Yeah, and he's like, you'll never make it. And he didn't say it in a condescending tone. I think he just knew. And I was like, and I never said anything again. I just kind of was like, okay. And which is rare for me because my personality was like, what did you say? Well, I'm going to go and do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of always that way too. When you're talking about the equestrian stuff, I was actually a team pinner.
Oh, really?
So I went from a long hair musician wearing spandex to team pinning.
Okay.
My sister always said, so you go from a musician to cowboying. I said, hey, what the hell? It's kind of the same thing.
I wanted to be a jockey for so long. I could have.
Hey, you got the build for it.
Yeah.
It's too short.
Yeah.
Might even be.
Some of the jockeys are shorter than me. Come on. They weigh
we're gonna
less
have
than
fun
I
when you're
do
playing.
for sure.
We're going to have fun when you're playing. I'm going to have a ball. I got to get a super zoom so I can just get tight into her because,
Just get me from the side. Don't get my...
So for people that haven't met Stephanie, she's slightly small stature, let me just say. So what are you, like 3'11" or?
Yeah, something. Yeah, as my son would put it, Mom, you're only 2 inches from being a legal dwarf. I'm like, thanks.
But you're 2 inches.
I know. I am.
Trust me, 2 inches means a lot.
4'11" and a half. So I always used to say I'm like 5 feet with
I like that
shoes.
you had the half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, see, everybody gets me. See, and that's why I normally just say 4'11" because if I ever said 4'11 and 3/4 or 4'11, you just got to put that 3/4 in there, don't you?
Got to add
Well,
that.
that's how fucking tall I am. If a guy's like 6'3.5", you think he's gonna say 6'3"? Hell no, he's gonna say I'm 6'4".
Well, I'm 5'9" and 7/8.
Yeah. See, I don't mind. I'm fine being under 5 feet. I like it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I actually dated a girl years ago. You probably had her by about a month.
Really?
Yeah, and she was actually when I was team pinning. That's how I met her.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
she rode.
Oh, cool.
I had to get her, like one of those pony ride ponies because Put her
I
on there.
had, when my daughter started riding horses, they have this stupid box with like the 3 stairs to mount the horse. And I'm like, I do that shit the old fashioned way.
Well, did you ride English or
I had to
Western?
like English. I had to let my stirrup down
English.
so it's long enough. You're just jealous.
Give me
To
that
get
horn.
up onto the horse by holding onto the withers and the kennel and then readjusting my stirrup and making it shorter again. And I'm like, now they have stairs, they walk up and they just pop right on the horse.
If I got on an English saddle, I'd probably just slide off.
Yeah, I've done
Give me that horn.
I've had my saddle slide. I'm like, woo.
Yeah, I'd fall. Or a little canter, I just bounce
Yeah.
and fall off. So, give me that.
Little fun fact, at summer camp, I did a horse camp every year for like 8 years. And I had my own horse when I was 12. I was out riding her. I was in the ring doing jump class, and my horse was a bitch. I loved her to death, but she was a bitch. She was a chestnut. So she put her head down to eat, and yeah, her leg got hung up in the reins, and she started bouncing around. So I do an emergency dismount, and I
Which is
tripped.
She fell off.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice way
I
to say
fell
it.
off.
Okay.
So I'm like looking away. She trips me, and as I'm on the ground and roll over, all I see is brown. So my horse had completely rolled on top of me. My helmet cracked over both. My ears were black and blue. I almost broke my clavicle. But everybody in my class, literally, it was like an audible gasp, like. And they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, I stood up and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck just happened. I don't even know if I want to know what just happened. I'm going back to the bar.
You talk about that. So I had my pennant horse and I had my trail horses. You know, I had a horse. She was Magic Sunrise. She was my trail horse.
Oh, nice.
Big girl. Just I could put a freaking 2-year-old on her. She'd scoop him up.
Oh,
But Junior was my pennant horse, and Junior was a hot. Yeah, he just wanted to run. He wanted to chase cows. But occasionally I'd take him out on trails just to kind of run them.
right.
So we're out. He had to be out front. I mean, I could not hold him back. So we go out to this opening into a field, and it's about, I'd say about 300 yards across, and there's another, trail runs off and it kind of kicks to the left.
Yeah.
So I got him out in this field. I said, okay, you little shit, you want to run? Guess what? We're going to run. We made 3 loops around that field, going back into where the trailhead was. And like I said, you make a break. We went in there. I guess he didn't know we made a break. He dead stopped. And I went,
Yeah.
and I got up, pissed off. He looked at me like, oh shit, and took off. Had to run him down. He's running. He's like, nope, you're not catching me. And I finally got him, and I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you right now.
Yep.
I'm just going to get back on you, and we're going to get back home, and we're going to have a discussion later, man. And he was always one of the ones he'd always inhale when I was sensing the.
Yeah. She's
So
like
I
her
learned
now.
how to punch him in the side, so he'd exhale, so I could get this everything cinched up tight.
Yeah.
Because before when I first started riding him, saddle just rotate and I'd fall off, and he would always, to blow his chest
Sure,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, to wait from the unbloat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go out there and I'd catch him off guard and be like, eat.
Yeah, with him, I just
five
give him a good
volts,
punch, and he'd turn around and look at me like, because you're not hurting him. Everybody says,
Right.
didn't you hurt him? No, it's a 1,000-pound freaking horse. Me punching him is not going to hurt him at all. He's probably looking at me going, is that all you got?
that?
Is that all you got?
Fly.
Yeah, but he was actually a sweet horse. Loved it. And Magic, I mean, she had a, she just was just the mellowest horse in the world. I could take her out, drop the reins, throw my leg up over top the horn, and just sleep. Junior, every ride was an adventure. Every ride was an adventure. All right, so we talked about everything. We've been on here for an hour and a half.
I haven't like.
Yeah, pack up.
Wow.
I know, it goes quick.
It does go.
Everybody always says, what do we talk about? I said, trust me. We talk
Bullshit
about
stuff.
everything. I can tell everybody. It's just, it's a group of people sitting around shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Forget about the cameras and all that crap. We're just up here. Have you thought about that camera? You didn't even know where the camera is?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Because usually people are like, I don't even
I
know.
didn't
You
realize
forget
how
about a
little. I was
camera.
like, that's a really little camera.
Yeah.
Well, I bring my PTZ in so I can do it.
Right.
Because, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
I just found that thing and I said, well, I guess this will work.
We're all just learning this together.
Yeah. I buy like once every 2 weeks, I find something else. I'm going to try that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Well, I try. It's like I said, that's why I got this, because last time I did a live from here was a complete failure. It was almost embarrassing because Lexi was on here and I couldn't get it all worked out. I was basically using just a standard interface. So I figured I can run multiple mics, multiple headsets.
There you go.
And this is actually the first real test. I use this when I'm doing the videos because I run 2 mics.
Okay.
Then I also run my wireless mic because I have a wireless mic now because I'm fancy.
Hello.
I can run that in here, and that works out. But I said, shit, if I can use it for this, I can use it for that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I always keep my old one in the bag just in case.
Just in
case
case
something
always have to have
happens.
a backup.
But yeah, it actually has turned out pretty good. I can actually plug my phone. We can take phone calls on this too.
Oh, really?
Not that I don't like talking to people on the phone, but I can.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
plug in your phone. TRS. Somebody can call in, but I put it on here. I can play music or all that kind of. But yeah, that's too confusing for me. I can only do one thing at a time. Somebody calls in. I don't think it's a customer.
It's
Just ignore it.
TV going like, "Ooh."
Yeah, I can't handle that. This is enough. This is enough. So what do you say we call it an evening?
All right.
We can go. We'll go home and go to bed. I got work tomorrow. You got to work tomorrow. Work
No, I'm off. I'm off tomorrow.
You are off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the beer shed tonight. Do a little karaoke.
Karaoke.
Cause why not?
Karaoke.
Can't sing enough.
I really miss coming here on Tuesday nights for the live band karaoke.
I don't miss karaoke.
They still do it here. on Tuesday
Karaoke
night,
makes
right?
my eyes and ears bleed. Everybody says, well, there's always that one person who's good. Yeah, after the 24 people that suck.
Yeah, that's true.
I said, I don't want to go hear music I don't like sung very poorly. And there's always those drunks up there that think they're, freaking, And I'm thinking, oh,
Yep.
I know the last I was here one night with Bubba, and I was sticking cotton in my ears. I was, oh, it's not that bad. I was, I'm just not a karaoke fan.
No, not for everyone. I like to go sometimes. Just I'm a people watcher.
I saw a friend of ours that posted his video on karaoke a couple nights ago. That's why I don't go to karaoke. You know who you are.
Yeah.
That's why I don't go to karaoke. Fingernails.
Fingernails in the chocolate.
I love my friends, but don't ever expect me to come see you sing karaoke.
All right.
Not gonna
Thank
happen.
you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
thank you
it.
very much.
I had fun.
So,
This was actually one of those good flowing, just kind of
Yeah.
fun shows. Yeah.
that's because I rock like that, even though I'm short.
Like I said, small things.
She's the extra.
Small things, big
And we
package.
tell her that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She like brings it all out of us.
She just wants all the attention. That's what it is.
That, yeah.
No,
You gotta be better for me. You guys have to be great.
I just make them better versions of themselves. They're
She
fantastic.
just wants to be
already.
better so she looks better. That's all it is. We all do. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, good singers surround herself by good musicians.
Absolutely. I pulled you out of your shell a whole bunch.
A little bit, little by little. You're.
Well, you pull him out of shell. Now we're going to stick him in a doghouse when he's here.
Yeah. Now I'm going right back in behind the shell. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll try to zoom
He's
in a
like-
little bit. It'll be a
He's
glare.
like, you owe me. I didn't know we were going to be. And I was like, well, I didn't know it was going to be like this either.
It's actually, I tell everybody when you're doing, especially young guys, enjoy it now. Because, eventually you get to my age and I'm glad I did it and I won't do it again. People try to talk me into playing again. It's like, nah, I'm retired. But I've got 15 years of stories that I can't tell anybody.
Right.
At least not on an open forum.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Gene Simmons,
You can tell.
rookie.
Okay.
Gene Simmons,
That'll be
you
a
rookie.
different podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
That's going to be on a different.
Yeah.
We don't go live on that one. I need a bleeper.
Yeah.
So I say, Misty, I was hoping she'd come in. She said, well, you really put me on there? I said, look, I got a bleep. I can just hold my finger on it. And besides, it's Facebook and YouTube. And YouTube, actually, I have it set up so it's adult only.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
was smart.
18 plus.
Exactly. Yes, it's an 18-plus show. And if you're on here watching on Facebook, you shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well.
Exactly.
They do, and I can't control it.
Yeah.
What do you do? Hey, I had Sobriety X on here. The first band I did was Sobriety X.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think they cuss, do you?
Hell no. Not at all.
They created words.
Oh, yeah. Sure they did.
Actually, love those guys.
They're
They're a
very
trip.
colorful.
They are colorful. Actually, Wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf is, like I said, you should be the spokesman of the band because, Rick's supposed to be the vocalist, but he was on there. He's kind of quiet. I said, what's wrong with Rick? If you don't know what words to sing, you can't talk. No, but they were great. I had a blast with them. Yeah, they're such good guys. Again, consider them good friends. They were here. We had a blast when they were here. Of course, it's Friday night because I can't have them on Saturday nights. I said, I don't care about that. They're Jaeger bomb fanatics.
Okay.
So, and our special Saturday is Jaeger bomb. So I can't book them because,
Oh, they can have it.
well, they still drink it, but I'm not going to give it to them cheap. If I give it to them cheap, then they're going to drink twice as much. Of course,
That's too fun.
Butch was on restriction Friday night. He couldn't drink.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, Rick didn't have his drinking buddy, so he was kind of like,
Oh,
yeah, but Butch was on restriction. He couldn't drink that.
that's too fun.
And, the other guys, Wolf doesn't really drink a whole lot. Now, Greg, yeah, it's a different story. Poor Greggy loses basis when he drinks. Love the guys. All right, let's call this a quit. I'm tired.
All right.
We're going to pack this shit up. I'm going to go home. Great having you guys. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in roughly about 10 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A week
We're
from Saturday
excited.
night.
Come on out and see us.
Bring it on.
Actually,
Come
bring
out
your
and see
asses
Reality
out.
Bites.
Yep.
You can come this weekend too, but make sure you come next weekend for. Actually, I got some great bands coming up.
I know, you really
Schedule
do.
looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some fantastic bands coming up. I'm real happy. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The next year is going to be even better because now I'm booking early,
Smart.
so I can get everything. I can
Great.
I can load it the way I want to load it. Hey, I don't have to worry about begging
Yeah.
because we got a late start this year.
Hopefully we'll play and then we can be on the books for next year.
There you go.
Show me what you got.
I know.
Show me what you got.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
tell
I
you.
told everybody. I said my mother can have a band. If she didn't fill the place up, guess what? I'd fire her. Nah, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Well, you know everybody around here, so they're all going to be here.
Right, exactly.
I mean, hell, just as long as they got a drink too.
Yeah.
Make them drink liquor.
Yeah, make them
Not
drink.
beer, make them drink
Everybody has to drink liquor.
Yep, y'all have
How
to
to
drink
get
liquor
a
with
bulk
it.
of my crew to come out. They're all liquor drinkers.
Good.
There you go.
Good like that. Just don't drink that much liquor to where I have to say you had too much liquor.
You got to stop. Yeah.
If I look at you go, no. Or if I tell you, control your people,
Yeah. I know.
that's usually my first
They're
thing.
not my people.
That's usually my first thing as a group of people. I find the biggest person there. Help me control your people. Like, all right. Yeah, no big deal. So, all right. So again, it's Reality Bites. They're going to be here a week from this Saturday,
The 31st.
the 31st, right before June. It's almost
Right before
freaking June. Can you
Almost
believe that
June.
shit?
Yeah, it's
We'll be
crazy.
bringing in June because we played till.
Yeah.
Actually-
we played till.
Yeah.
After.
Oh, late.
Oh, 10 to 2.
2.
10 to 2.
10
yeah.
to 2.
Yep.
Trust me. I don't like it either. I won't come with it. I mean, if we sneak it in and and get out of here by 1:30, yeah. No, it's unfortunately it's 10 to 2.
Yeah, no, that's fine. B and I are the night owls of the group.
I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So I'm gonna walk around here. My eyes are half open. Oh, you guys done yet?
You're going to be that night.
yep,
I'll try to get some rest that day.
yeah. Right.
I need to get used to this weekend schedule thing. Forgot I need to get those blackout curtains
Yeah,
and get
They help.
Zeus a dog diaper or something.
Hey.
I'd be that big. Butts out.
Take him out before you go to bed.
I can't
He's
nap.
sick.
I can't nap. I never could nap.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know why. I've never been a nap. I mean, I could sit on my recliner. If I'm watching a movie,
You can pass out.
I'll hit the recliner and I'm out. I mean, I'll wake up 10 minutes later and I won't know what's going on. But just to go lay down and take a half an hour, 45 minute nap, nope. Lay down for 10 minutes, like, well, what's next? It's like taking people take baths. I get in the bath in 2 minutes, like, okay, what I do now?
Right.
Go in there and sit. People say, go soak in a tub. It's like, nah. 2 minutes, I'm done.
Doesn't do
I'm
anything.
done. All right, what's next? Come on. This is not exciting at all. I got to figure out something else.
Right.
I go in and take my shower, do my thing, get out. Unfortunately, I don't have much free time to do anything now.
Nope.
All right, folks, we're going to cut this thing out here. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
We're going to cut this. We will see you guys again tomorrow night. We have Gary Shutt. If you have not seen, everybody's seen Gary. I think everybody's seen Gary. Gary is amazing. He will blow your freaking mind. Friday night, we have Jukebox Johnny's. We got our Blues night Friday night. Saturday night, we have Remnant's Altar. I've heard some really good things about
I've seen
them.
them.
Have you?
They played. A couple of friends of mine live in Weekiwachi. I think they're from up in that area.
Yeah.
They played at Market 48. Fantastic.
Great. Did you hear that? It's not just me saying it.
Yeah.
I got another musician saying it. They're fantastic. So get your butts here this weekend. And obviously, you need to get your butts in here next weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend. Again, as I said before, obviously, I have a very tender spot in my heart for guys that didn't make it back. And even the guys that made it back and passed because of that. So when you're eating your hot dogs and drinking your beer, think of why we're having the holiday. It's not about hot dogs and beer. Trust me, folks. On that note, we're going to call it. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you
Thanks
again.
for joining us.
We're going to cut it out. See you guys soon. Out of here.